didn't say EDTA was a cure, but maybe you could use it to explode some vampire heads.
I mean, it's not your fault you've been brainwashed by America. I mean, at least you made it back alive, right?
They were just being stupid. They didn't mean anything by it. What about you? Man, you want to be so different.
Aunt Frances loves every damn dog in the street the same as she loves me. Ain't no shit to be loved by no.
She stood face to face with Wesley Snipes in one of the most iconic vampire films ever made, earning critical acclaim and becoming the face millions recognized.
Bushe, Wright, and let's see, what would you know me from? What, Blade or Dead Presidents Jumping Out of the Dump Sub?
Then she disappeared. Born on September 7th, 1969 in New York City, Bushe Wright went from trained dancer at the Alvin Ailey Dance Center to Hollywood's most promising actress to a ghost in the industry. And the question that haunts fans 25 years later is simple. What happened to Dr. Karen Jenson?
I thought you promised to give me some distance.
This is the story of a woman who had everything: a net worth of $1 million, critical praise, blockbuster success, and then walked away from it all. Or did Hollywood push her out? Buckle up, because this journey goes from Broadway stages to vampire battles to a silence so loud it still echoes today. In 1969, Stanley Wright, a jazz musician who would later take the name Suleiman Marim Wright, welcomed a daughter into the world. Her mother worked as a psychiatrist with the New York City Board of Education, bringing structure and intellect into their home. But it was her father's artistic soul that would shape Bushe's destiny. Growing up in New York City during the 70s and 80s meant being surrounded by culture, art, and limitless creative possibility. Bushe wasn't just exposed to the arts, she was immersed in them. Her father's jazz world introduced her to rhythm, improvisation, and the beauty of performance. By her teenage years, Bushe had found her calling in dance. She trained at the legendary Alvin Ailey Dance Center, one of the most prestigious dance institutions in the world, known for celebrating Black culture through movement. Then she studied at the Martha Graham School of Dance, mastering modern dance technique that would later inform her physicality as an actress.
I mean, Mr. Ailey stood for excellence, he stood for elegance, and he wanted his people to be seen in the most high esteemed way.
Dance wasn't just exercise for Bushe, it was storytelling. Every movement meant something. Every gesture carried emotion. These lessons would translate directly into her acting career, giving her a physical presence on screen that few actresses possessed. But somewhere during her dance training, Bushe realized that movement alone wasn't enough. She wanted to speak. She wanted to embody characters fully, not just through dance, but through voice, emotion, and narrative. So she made a decision that confused many of her dance colleagues. She enrolled at Stella Adler's studio in New York to study acting. Stella Adler's method focuses on imagination, emotional truth, and building characters from the inside out. Bushe absorbed everything, combining her dance training with Adler's acting techniques to create a hybrid performer who could move like a dancer and act with raw emotional depth. Within just 1 year of studying at Stella Adler's studio, Bushe Wright booked her first major film role. That's not luck, that's talent, preparation, and undeniable screen presence. In 1992, Anthony Drazan cast Bushe in his film Zebrahead, a drama about interracial relationships in Detroit. She played Nikki, a Black teenager who falls for a white Jewish boy in a racially divided high school. The film tackled race, identity, and young love with a rawness that critics praised.
My boyfriend, yeah. Yeah, that's him. That's him. He's really into this Black thing,
Bushe's performance was magnetic. She brought vulnerability and strength to Nikki, proving she could handle complex emotional material. Critics noticed, casting directors noticed. Hollywood was watching. That same year, she landed a recurring role on the CBS series I'll Fly Away, playing Claudia, a Black civil rights activist fighting for equal opportunities in education during the 1960s. The show was critically acclaimed, tackling racism and social justice during the civil rights era with honesty and nuance.
My Uncle Phineas telephoned me from Chapel Hill. I'm the hope in my family. For college and beyond that,
And Bushe was building a reputation as a serious actress who chose meaningful projects over easy paydays. But her next role would cement that reputation permanently. In 1994, Boaz Yakin cast Bushe in Fresh, an independent crime drama about a 12-year-old drug runner navigating the dangerous streets of Brooklyn. Bushe played Nicole, the protagonist's older sister who's trapped in drug addiction.
1,000 little girls running in and out of here. Like my feet are hanging off the edge of the bed already.
Critics were stunned. Bushe's portrayal of addiction was so raw, so painfully real, that audiences forgot they were watching a performance. She didn't glamorize addiction or play it for sympathy. She showed the ugly truth, the desperation, the manipulation, the loss of self.
After reading the script, I wasn't sure because I don't, the whole idea of the negative portrayal of we don't necessarily need to see anymore. Once I decided that I would, I go into methadone clinic. I lost 5 pounds. And at the clinic, I spoke to different patients, and they were so intense and so passionate.
Roger Ebert praised the film, and Bushe's performance became a masterclass in character work. She was only in her mid-20s and already being compared to some of the best actresses of her generation. Then came 1995, and the Hughes brothers cast her in Dead Presidents, a crime drama about Black Vietnam veterans who turned to robbery after struggling to reintegrate into society. Bushe played Delilah Benson, girlfriend to one of the main characters, navigating the trauma and economic desperation of post-Vietnam America.
But when they get back down to the South Bronx and to Bed-Stuy and Harlem and Watts, etc., shit is worse than ever.
3 critically acclaimed films in 3 years. Bushe Wright was on a trajectory that should have led to superstardom. She had the talent, the training, the critical praise, and the Hollywood buzz. Agents were calling. Directors wanted to work with her. The industry was ready to make her a star. And then came 1998, and everything changed. When New Line Cinema decided to adapt Marvel's vampire-hunting superhero Blade for the big screen, they needed someone to play Dr. Karen Jenson, the hematologist who gets caught in Blade's world and becomes his unlikely ally.
She's a hematologist, and she's studying, she's in research, and when we first find her, she's on her feet standing. 2 seconds later, she gets bitten by old evil Quinn, and then she is in the midst of turning into a vampire herself, but because of her research, she has an inclination that she could probably cure herself.
They needed someone who could be intelligent, vulnerable, badass, and believable opposite Wesley Snipes' intense performance. They chose Bushe Wright.
The maxilla looks a little deformed. There's some odd muscle structure around the canines.
Directed by Stephen Norrington, Blade was a gamble. Superhero movies weren't guaranteed hits yet. Marvel was still years away from the MCU. The film was dark, violent, and R-rated, targeting a mature audience in a genre that Hollywood didn't fully understand. But Blade worked. It worked brilliantly. Bushe's Dr. Karen Jenson wasn't a damsel in distress. She was a scientist who used her intelligence to help Blade, creating weapons and developing cures. She held her own against vampires, stood up to Blade when necessary, and brought emotional depth to a film that could have been just action and gore.
You haven't started on the internal organs yet?
Just a blood sample for the pericardium.
Critics praised her performance. Fans loved her. The chemistry between Bushe and Wesley Snipes was undeniable.
Wait a minute, I'm coming with you.
You're useless.
Dr. Karen Jenson became one of the most beloved characters in the film, and Bushe Wright was suddenly a household name.
So that's it? You guys just patch me up and send me on my way.
Blade grossed over $130 million worldwide against a $45 million budget. It was a massive hit, revitalizing the superhero genre and proving that Marvel properties could work on the big screen. The film is credited with paving the way for Spider-Man, X-Men, and eventually the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Bushe Wright was now the female lead of one of the most successful superhero films ever made. Sequels were inevitable. Her career should have exploded. Offers should have flooded in. She should have become one of the biggest action stars of the early 2000s. Instead, something went wrong. In 2002, Blade 2 was released. Wesley Snipes returned, Chris Christopherson returned as Whistler, but Dr. Karen Jenson, she was completely absent. No explanation, no cameo, no mention. It was as if her character had been erased from the franchise. Fans were confused and angry. Where was Dr. Karen Jenson? What happened to Bushe Wright? The studio never provided a clear answer. Bushe herself has rarely spoken about why she wasn't in the sequels. Some reports suggest creative differences, others hinted budget constraints or scheduling conflicts. But the most persistent rumor is simpler and more frustrating. Hollywood just moved on. They recast, rewrote, and replaced her without a second thought. After Blade, Bushe continued working, but the roles became smaller and less frequent. She appeared in television shows and independent films, but never regained the momentum she had in the 90s.
I need you to come down here now. Didn't do it, Tony.
Why are you with this person?
He treats me like family.
She had guest roles on shows like Third Watch and 100 Center Street.
Any pain in the ankle?
Let's see. The weight was 30 pounds. I'd say it hurts like hell. Yep, it hurts like hell.
Quality programs, but nothing that captured mainstream attention. Her film appearances became sporadic. The actress who had been poised for superstardom was suddenly struggling to stay visible. By the mid-2000s, Bushe Wright had essentially disappeared from Hollywood. No big announcements, no retirement statements, no scandals or controversies. She just faded away, leaving fans wondering what happened to one of the most talented actresses of her generation. So where is Bushe Wright now? As of October 2025, she's 56 years old with a net worth of $1 million. A modest sum considering her talent and the success of Blade.
Worse things out tonight than vampires.
Like what?
Like me.
She maintains a low profile, occasionally posting on Instagram, where she has around 17,000 followers, a far cry from the millions that other actors from that era command.
Recently, I produced for the NAACP 25 one-person shows. This weekend for the theater festival, I hosted the NAACP's vignettes again.
She hasn't announced any upcoming projects. Her IMDb page lists no films in production. Unlike other 90s stars who've experienced career revivals through streaming services or nostalgia-driven reboots, Bushe remains in Hollywood's shadows. There's no personal drama to report, no scandals, no controversies, no public feuds, and Bushe has kept her personal life intensely private, with no confirmed information about marriage, children, or romantic relationships publicly available. She's one of the rare celebrities who successfully maintains complete privacy in the social media age. But the question persists, why didn't she become a superstar? She had everything: the training, the talent, the critical acclaim, the blockbuster success. So what went wrong? Some industry insiders suggest that Bushe made a choice, that she valued her privacy and artistic integrity over fame and fortune. Others hint at the harsh reality facing Black actresses in Hollywood during the late 1990s and early 2000s. Limited roles, typecasting, and an industry that wasn't ready to fully invest in Black female action stars.
I'm here to meet Mr. Stein.
Bushe Wright's story is a reminder that talent doesn't guarantee success, that one blockbuster doesn't secure a career, that Hollywood is as much about timing, politics, and luck as it is about ability. She deserved more. More roles, more recognition, more opportunities. But Hollywood is littered with talented actors who deserved more and never got it. Bushe just happens to be one of the most glaring examples. When Blade celebrated its 25th anniversary in 2023, fans again asked about Bushe. Where was she? Why wasn't she included in the celebrations? Why doesn't Marvel acknowledge her contribution to launching their cinematic empire? The silence is deafening.